Joining me right now, presidential historian and author of the new book, Inside Trump's White House, Mr. Doug Wead. Doug, it's good to see you as always. And on days like today, a historic day indeed, I like to talk to you because I think that sometimes history gets a little misrepresented, and that's what we're seeing right now from Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, and it's interesting, this being the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. Samuel Adams really was the driving force of that in his Sons of Liberty. Samuel Adams would be very out of place in today's America. He hated taxes. Lois Lerner would have thrown him in prison, and he'd be unwelcome on America's campuses. Samuel Adams, a strong believer in free speech. He once said that natural liberty is superior to any other force on earth. And CNN would have had a panel to discuss the political incorrectness of dressing up like Indians and throwing tea off of those ships.
But, you know, Nancy Pelosi, when she's talking about, you know, dethroning effectively a king and how the American Revolution was all about that, I think she's a little misguided in that, you know, the American Revolution really was about economic independence. It was about, you know, the unfairness, the inherent unfairness of taxation without representation. And for her to try and equate Donald Trump to a king, I mean, I know he's hard to beat and everything, right, Doug? But that seems a little far-fetched and very irresponsible.
A little far-fetched. In fact, Donald Trump has been deregulating, which has allowed the ordinary person, the common man, to compete with these big monopolies. That's one of the stories that's lost in the Boston Tea Party, is that a monopoly was involved. It wasn't just taxation without representation. It was the East India Company, a British multinational company that was getting tea from China and bringing it to the American colonies and then taxing the American colonies for doing that. The American colonies were in an uproar because they wanted to get the tea themselves, but they weren't allowed to because of a monopoly. So think of this.
Monopoly, monarchy.
A multinational monopoly with special deals with China. Sounds very familiar.
It's amazing how history repeats itself, right? Doug, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. All right, we've got a lot more coming up. Far left actor Robert De Niro going after President Trump's